Yeah. All right. Yeah, we got you in the right spot.
Check.
Hey,
We out here, baby.
hey, how's it going?
How's it going? This is StreamSpace Podcast, episode 11.
Episode 11. We still here. We still surviving.
Come on, we ain't going nowhere. We got a special guest as usual. What's your name? What they call you?
What's up? Is DJ Step One.
Let's go.
All right. Hey, man. Hey. Yeah, he literally is like a legend now. Like officially today, for real, like a legend though. The people have spoken.
Yeah. For those that don't know what he's talking about, today, I actually just found out today, Cleveland Scene Best DJ of 2023.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. Congratulations, man.
How
How does that feel?
It's surreal. It's honestly surreal. I think the reason why it's so surreal is because when I first started DJing, I always wanted to be in like Scene magazine, and I never was in it. Like never could get a shot. And then to now, damn near 20 years later, to be in it and to be like cemented as the best DJ of 2023 is like a real surreal feeling.
Definitely takes a lot of hard work, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of doing stuff, just DJing wise. Like, I mean, obviously, like, dropped a couple mixes this year, through a party, by myself, or pretty much by myself. I had help. I obviously always got the varsity squad behind it, but this was like my main thing, and then DJing at Rebar on Saturday.
Shout out Rebar.
Yeah, so I think I put in a decent amount of work. It's still surreal. So like, even if you could tell, like this is not. I'm usually not this laid back, but yeah, my demeanor is like real. I even took a nap today, and I never take a nap. So
You said I can finally take a break.
well, no, actually now because you know what, I'm the type of person that will put extra pressure on myself.
Yeah.
Now, even though it's like you got voted, I want to live up even more to the billing. So I want to try to do as much more as possible. So these next couple of days, I'll plan my next steps to try to take it to that next level.
Got to ride that wave
Yeah,
to the top, man.
Yeah.
Well, take it all the way back to the beginning, though. The beginning of the journey. What inspired you to even want to become a DJ? Was there a first time that you saw someone DJing and said, "I want to do it"? Was it a default where the DJ didn't show up and they said, "You can do it," and you enjoyed it from there on out? How did you even get there?
That's an interesting story. So originally I actually wanted to be like you, and I'll explain exactly what I mean in a second. If you remember back in the day, it was this magazine. It was called Scratch Magazine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Scratch Magazine was like the magazine for anybody that wanted to be like behind the scenes in hip hop. And every time I wanted to make beats, and every time this was before, or Fruity Loops wasn't popular. It was probably out, but people didn't know about it because Ninth Wonder really hadn't exploded yet.
Right.
So every time I looked in Scratch Magazine, they always said highlighted people's equipment. Like, what equipment do you have? And they always said 2 Techniques, a mixer, and then an MPC.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, well, if I want to make beats, I gotta like try to piece this together. So I went into Record Exchange in Solon, which is a suburb in Northeast Ohio, and it's funny because I had just got my like first heartbreak, which is a part of the story too. That's what kind of made me practice. But I walked in and I had just got a refund check, and for the amount the refund check was 2 turntables, 2 belt-driven turntables, terrible ass belt-driven turntables.
I know.
Bought them and then start practicing.
There you go.
Shout out to refund checks, man. It really got us together.
Definitely got us together.
So growing up, were you in a family that had records?
So that's interesting. My family done not really. Like my mother had a lot of records.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a musical household. So some people are like, yo, my house was just filled with music, and every Saturday we listen to music. Like my house wasn't like that. But what really got me into hip hop is my sister. Me and my sister's 12 years apart. So seeing as that we 12 years apart, she was into hip hop. I'm 39 years old. So she was into hip hop, and she was coming in during that like golden era time. So she listening to stuff like NWA, Rakim, Spice One. And I would be listening to it, and I'm like, her name is Shannon. I'm like, Shannon, can you play some of that music? You know what I mean? Because I wanted to hear it.
Yeah.
It had all the cuss words and stuff in it, and that's kind of what got me into music. So my indoctrination into music was like obviously Michael Jackson, but other than that, it was like hip hop. So where other people was like, grew up listening to Stevie Wonder. No, I grew up listening to NWA and Tribe Called Quest and all these other like hip hop acts.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a crazy time. It's a crazy time. See, I didn't start listening to hip hop early on. My parents were strict. They didn't let that fly. No, I wasn't listening to no hip hop. I grew up with funk, gospel, jazz, a lot of jazz, which was great. You know, what I mean, classical music was great. I also had a thing growing up for like soundtrack music.
Okay.
From different movies. So like, cause I was in band and stuff, so it was always cool hearing that type of stuff. But it wasn't until probably around Lil Jon. And I already knew about hip hop, but it was around Snappy Fingers when it came out where I really started to listen to more. I had a radio, I was sneaking at night, turn the Z107 down real low, really as low as I possibly could, man. And I remember starting to hear, records that were coming out around that time, and that's when, for me at least, like, yeah, hip hop is fire.
Yeah,
I've been, man. Like we had like a lot of different type of like records at the house and CDs, tapes, and everything. It was a lot of different type. Of course, my mom was real big on R&B. So we'd wake up on Saturday morning. You heard Kim playing, we cleaning up, but then like just the gospel side too, because I mean our family's very in the church. Our fathers were gospel singers.
Okay.
They got a record.
Yeah, they got a record. We got to find it. We're going to bring that record out one day. Y'all gonna
I don't
hear
know
that
where
one.
that tape is at.
Oh, somebody hiding it somewhere. We're going to find it. Then, like, I remember, like, I think, like, for me, like, on the low, I was, like, getting myself into hip-hop, like, CDs in the house. I remember, like, listening to Midnight Marauders all the time. Like, on the low. But I was so young when it was out, and it was, like, creepy sounding to me because I was so young. But for some reason, I wanted to just keep on listening to it, and then like being in band and listening to different kind of music. So I just got so engulfed into different types of music, and I mean, it was love from there.
Yeah, I think especially like the first tape I bought like Onyx. My grandpa bought Onyx. I bought the Chronic. I had the Chronic on tape.
The Chronic.
Like, they took the tape away from me because I was bringing kids into the house to listen to it.
He was influencing.
He was out here onboarding people to the Chronic.
Yeah. And then I was like, yo, they wanted to play like a video game. I'm like, we gonna play the game, but we gotta listen to this first. And then it was, and then I'm up here not saying the words, but using opposite words. So instead of saying S my D, it's like eat my penis. And it's like, yeah.
Like that like sound worse.
Yeah, we gotta take his tape away.
So you bought your table, you start practicing and everything like that. When did you start like seriously, consistently getting gigs? How did that start up? Were you like, hey, I'm part of the scene now, or I'm breaking into the scene?
So that's an interesting question because that's multi-layered. So I was terrible at first. Like I'll fully admit that I was like terrible. I was practicing, but this is before YouTube. Like this is even before kids. At one point, it was a thing called Google Video before YouTube. So like I didn't know anything. So to answer your question without giving like the full backstory, unless you want the full backstory.
I mean, we got time.
So
this is what we came here for. This is real raw in your face.
Yeah. When so basically like I was terrible, but shout out to Big Hef. Big Hef would give me those like introductory gigs, and it used to be different back in the day because you would have to have, like DJing was very gatekeeped, like extremely gatekeeped, which is I actually don't think is a bad thing.
Now seeing how things are kind of oversaturated.
Yeah, exactly. So what ended up happening is, since it was gatekeep, like Big Hef was always like the introduction to moving up. He was always that first rung because he would give you those like hip hop events. Like you would be DJing for a whole bunch of local rappers, not saying that in an offensive way, but it would be local talent. And then you would probably have like a 15-minute set, or you would play a song in between the next set and you keep it going. But that was like a good introduction to DJing in front of a crowd. Um, but yeah, I was terrible. Like I was not good. And it's a DJ. Shout out to DJ Majet. I always tell this story, but it's true. They hired me to DJ with Majet one time, and Majet kicked my ass all the way up and down the turntables. And I was like, yo, I was so embarrassed I didn't want to spin. And I'm a very like prideful, competitive person. So when that happened, that made my ass really get in there and start practicing. I think as I practice, the interesting part is my introduction, and this is how obviously I met you,
Right.
was through college gigs because I was at the University of Akron. It's
That's
natural.
a good way to start right there.
Yeah.
It's a real good way.
So it was natural to DJ at the University of Akron and, DJ for the people that's in your community, in
Right.
your neighborhood. So like house parties to start, and then that moved on up into like doing some of the icebreakers, and then just doing different events, and then that matriculated into like doing Cleveland college gigs, which then matriculated into doing like, some 21 and up stuff or some more prestigious type stuff. I think if to answer your original question, I think when I felt that I fully invaded the scene was, if I'm being honest, it was when I used to do a monthly party at Anatomy. Like that's when I fully. Well, it was two things.
Anatomy, though.
Yeah, it was two things.
Took
It was
it back.
monthly party at Anatomy, and that was the jump off, and that was like this big party, and I was the main DJ. But also, when I started to get booked out the city,
Yeah.
like, we need you in Toledo, we need you in Cincinnati, we need you in Columbus,
Yeah.
like, we need you in these places, and not so much like we just need a DJ. No, we want you. I think, even though this wasn't, I hope that answered the question,
Yeah,
but this
yeah,
is
it did.
another part. I remember one time I was going to Ohio University and I was DJing with Chip.
Yeah.
Chip the Ripper at the time. He was Chip the Ripper before he became King Chip, and now he back to Chip the Ripper. And this girl was like, "Yeah, we glad y'all coming." I'm like, "Yeah, I know y'all happy to see Chip." And she was like, "No, we're actually happy to see both of y'all. We're interested in seeing both." And that was kind of like one of those surreal moments where it was like, "Oh snap!"
Right. And I like, to your point too, is like like when you DJing like locally, like at the college scene, like first of all, you like know most of the people out there, so they gonna give you some grace. They gonna give you some grace anyway. But then when people outside the city are asking you, they trust in you. Especially like throwing events, we all know throwing events that costs a lot of money, right? And that music, that's a big part of the entire event, right? So when they calling out for you and everything, that kind of puts a little bit of it kind of certifies you a little bit.
Yeah, no, definitely. And the thing is, like, the interesting part about the college scene is like, you a Sigma, so the frat brothers would give me grace. Everybody else was not gonna be like, "Yo, you better rock," especially the females. I remember there's a couple
my
times
gosh.
like, "You playing all this fight music?" Like, all right, let me sprinkle in some of this R&B.
That let you. I mean, but you got to go through those hard times. I remember, man, like one of my early gigs, and oh man, I forgot what club I was in down there in Akron, and I was fucking up. I ain't even gonna lie. Like I was trash, and I did get it together eventually. But I just remember it was some girls standing right in front of the DJ booth, and they was like, "Man, he fucking up," and I was like. The whole room started spinning. I felt like I was Mr. Krabs, but eventually I got it together.
That's one thing. Like, people think DJing is easy, but me, K Nice, we always talk about. You don't know how I feel to be on that stage and you get that cold sweat. If you ever had a cold sweat, it feels terrible. Where you're sweating and you're trying to play a record and everybody is looking at you, and it's just sweat pouring down, and you got to try to figure out how to make these people dance or happy or whatever the case may be.
If you can't swim, you gonna bound the drizzle.
Yeah, and the thing about those college gigs is like, I wish every DJ got to start at like either doing like a high school gig, because I started off. I remember the first probably one of the first, not the very first, but was like at a team party. The problem with that is like you're on go from the minute that you get in the building. Like there is at a time in Cleveland, it's a little bit different now. Like you pretty much had 2 hours to warm up, get people into it, and then about like 12, if the party ended at 2:30, at about 12:15, you could start. You really had to have them moving, but that was a 2 hour grace period. In college, if it's gonna be packed, you got 45 minutes, and don't play like the same record over and over again. Like I remember when I used to do Velvet Room in Cleveland, I used to pride myself because I'd be like, yo, I think I hit 300 songs tonight. Just your brain,
You going through 'em.
yeah, your
Yeah.
brain. Somebody said DJing, and this is true. It's like playing Tetris on level 10 for 4 hours straight.
It is, and you can get burnt out. The night can go real fast too. It can go real fast, and man, I know exactly how you feel.
Facts. Like you start, especially with those college kids, if it's gonna be packed, like trust me, you got.
Man, I did a middle school dance this past school year. It was crazy though. It was crazy though. Like it was going. It was a point. Okay, so I'm like playing. I'm easing out because it's middle school, right? So I'm starting kind of some light kind of stuff, and then I slowly start because I had found some edited rap songs. So I started throwing that in there, and then there was this point where they started come asking for records, but it was blowing me because they started asking for all the records that were like actually hot. You know,
Yeah.
some they were bringing up some older records. Like they started asking me from like so old Tyler, and it's interesting hearing what middle schoolers want to hear.
Yeah. And they got the thing is, especially when you do like a younger event, they always got they pulse on what's about to be hot. So
Yeah.
like you do something at like a middle school or a high school or something like that, they know what's gonna be. Cause think about it, that's one of that's the most formative years of your musical ear. So they know probably peaches and eggplant or something like that way before we know because they've been listening to it on the internet, especially nowadays, for probably 4 months before it even hit like wherever it was going, before it even hit all these major playlists and everything else. So you end up in a situation where
They was putting me on. I mean, they were asking some stuff where I was writing it down. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go listen to this later because I don't even know who this artist is.
yeah,
You know.
They so much more active on like TikTok and Triller and everything like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Where all that stuff is kind of it breaks out there.
Mm-hmm.
exactly. So they'll have their little dances and they don't grind no more. They just be up here like
Weak.
doing weird dances and stuff.
Like all right,
Shout out to the old parties, man. There used to be some parties in Akron for sure. Like around that time, like it was like I don't know how they partying these days, but I know they not partying like that. It was going.
Yeah, the house parties used to be something crazy in there. Now you can't have a house party now. Someone's going to lose their life.
I think
I miss a house party though, man. That's a good time.
I said this and I believe it's the truth. I think that from what I understand, from what I can see, we and I'm including myself, including the frats that was there, that include you, Justin, from like probably about 2005 to about 2009 to 10. That was probably the best college party scene in the state. Like I don't think Ohio State could touch it because you talking about stuff used to go like Vertigo college night. People still will come up to me like, man, you used to DJ at the Vertigo,
Bro,
Yeah,
I
remember
remember.
Vertigo.
I remember one night, man. We was at the Vertigo. You was DJing up in there. It was rocking. Vertigo used to just rock, right? And I appreciate people's ear for music back then, and like they tolerance for just being open minded to different stuff. And I remember you had it rocking. It was hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, and then you just went into that Nirvana teen spirit, and it turned up in there, right? If you did that now, they'd probably turn around like, bruh,
what you doing?
man, what you doing, man? You messed up the party. But it's just like it's nice. It was nice that people would, like I said, had that open ear for music, and they just wanted to go on that journey.
Yeah, definitely. I think I always say the best night I ever had DJing was actually the last night that I DJ'd at Vertigo because I knew I was gonna get fired. I knew I was about to get fired. I already know because yes, me and promoters have a very hate slash almost like relationship. I won't even say love hate, but I just knew I was gonna get fired just because of the politics of the game and
Mhm.
looking. And what's interesting is a year later, and shout out to my dude Rob. He basically came back and said like that was we fucked up by firing you. But when I knew it, it was like, yo, I have to make a statement and rock out. So I think that probably been the night because I played everything I could think of. And that was, I always say, like, I was one party where when I looked out and I saw everybody like super rocking like that, I'm like, whoever coming here next got their work cut out
Yep.
for them. And from what I understand, that night did not last like two. It only lasted like 3 more weeks.
Yeah, yeah, then yeah, it went out of business. But that probably was that night, man. And
Kent
it,
had some parties too.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was the trifecta, man. Like I mean,
Kent
like
used
you
to
were
go
saying, like
crazy.
Akron, Kent, and then in Cleveland, but it was really like Akron and Kent for real,
Yeah.
like killing it, man. Like
Bowling Green was heavy too though back then.
Bowling Green was
yeah,
heavy.
Bowling Green was going. It was just that drive.
Yeah.
Toledo. I mean, the thing is like, but if we being honest, because that was when Street Smarts was heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So Akron, Kent, Street Smarts, and Schoolhouse was battling. But then they always was going to Toledo
Yeah.
too. So I used to go DJ in Toledo for Street Smarts, and then I started DJing in Toledo for other promotion companies. I remember one time, this was crazy. This is interesting. I remember somebody tweeted me like, "Yo, when is we gonna start saying Step One is the best DJ in Toledo?" And I'm like, I'm not into like I'm not like
But you was out there so much they thought
Yeah,
they
yeah.
thought you was a part of the
yeah, I
scene.
thought I was part of the scene.
And that's a testament to your skill also though. That means you just leaving a trail of just killing it. You feel
Right.
me? Everywhere you go.
Yeah.
So, so you, so now we know the journey. You know, you getting up there. You doing college, you rocking stuff and everything. So then you started. You know, we're gonna stay on DJing for a hot second more because you do so much more than just DJing too. But like, so Varsity Squad. You know, what's the story behind how did Varsity Squad start?
So we started first it started so I started a DJ crew, and it's funny because the people that was in there is kind of like legendary. I started a DJ crew. It was me, it was Evie, it was Flacco, it was Majet, and it was DJ Lou. And then that faltered. We was calling ourselves the Senate crew. And everybody was saying y'all was trying to be like the lead crew. So that stopped. So then after that, what ended up happening is I met K Nice and we were supposed to be rivals. But we like similar. So it was hard. We had similar music tastes. Like just similar personalities for the most part. Like we different, but we similar. It's like a weird thing. And what ended up happening is he started Potluck first. Me and him used to DJ at the Metropolis together. So when he started Potluck first, the first one went well, the second one flopped, and he brought me in for the third one. And when I brought some of the like eclectic college people to the party, and he saw a difference. He was like, "Yo, you want to be my partner in this?" Yeah. And then he was like, "Yo, so I'm thinking about starting a DJ crew. You want to be part of it?" I was like, "Yeah." That's like
Yeah.
yeah, it was just like yeah, like I was actually sick that day, so I was like, I wasn't gonna go because I was sick, but I'm like, yo, let me just go, and then yeah, just started. It's really as simple as that. I think that I always knew how DJ crews operated and realized that like yo, as a team, you'll make more progress as a team with people supporting each other than you just trying to be out there by yourself. Like I looked at how Mick Boogie did it and how him and Joey Fingers was together, how Mick and Terry Urban was together, and other DJ crews, and was like, and then I looked at other DJs that if they worked together, they would have been further.
Right. Yep. Yep. So, so now, you took a break a little bit from DJing for a hot second. So, what was the break for it, and what made you come back to it?
That's a good question, Justin.
knows his research.
Yeah, good question. So I took a break. Actually, I quit. It's not I took a break.
Okay.
That's being honest. And I took a break, and I say it now. It's just because of ego. At the time when I took it, it was like when I stopped. It was 2014, and I felt like my career was going nowhere. Like, bookings had stopped coming in. I thought I should have been on the radio at one point. That shit didn't happen. So it's like, yo, my career is pretty much dead. So what is even the point of doing this? So, and then when I would get called for booking, I was just like, no, I'm not DJing. No, I kind of stopped. You know what I mean? It made me feel good to turn down gigs,
Yeah.
which is, in hindsight, was actually not smart. You know what I mean? Like, it was just my ego talking. What made me come back is interesting. I'm going to say, like, speak from a religious standpoint, it's probably God, something like divine made me come back. You always pray for guidance.
Yeah.
But the story of it is that we was doing potluck. This was always used to come back and do like a small set at potluck.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it. So it was 2021 potluck, and it was us. We had our party potluck, and then it was King Lou and Brim Rose. We usually do potluck once a year now, and we're doing it this year too. And it was
Shout out to the potluck. If you ain't never been there.
it's Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So we had a party, and then they had a party on the same street. They had it on Coventry. They had it at the courtyard. We was having ours at the B-side. So as a promotion video, all of a sudden I'm just like, I had just finished doing like because I do video work. I had just finished like a web series. So I'm like, yo, I looked up a mixer and I saw a Mixar's mixer. And I was like, and I had my old Rain, whatever. I forgot what Rain it was, but it's like the old Rain mixer.
Like a 56 or something?
Yeah, it was a 57.
Okay,
Yeah, okay.
57,
Yeah, it was a 57. So with the first one with the Serato built in. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to trade this in and get the mixer, but I'm going to tape it. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm going to tape it as a promotional video. So when I did that, I taped it, boom, put it out there, and then I just thought for a second, I'm like, well, I mean, I still got my techniques, so, and my needles and stuff like that, I might as well just mess around a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, set it up in the basement.
Pull them out.
Yeah, pull them out. And then I was like, all right. I had did the potluck that day, and I had a good set. And it's like, okay, let me just mess around. You know what I mean? Mess around a bit. So that January 2022, I'm like, you know what? I used to, so this is interesting. I used to, I always been like trying to have multiple stream of income. So I was like, I was door dashing for a little bit and stopped. And then I was like, yo, why don't I just DJ for a side? Like, why don't I just DJ?
I already know how to do this.
You're right.
Yeah,
So it's
all right,
already
yeah. I don't
there.
have to learn. Like,
Yep. People already know me. Yep. There it is.
but so it's interesting you said that. I thought I was going to be starting back from the bottom. So I'm like, yo, I might as well just, get some turntables and stuff like that. And see what I maybe be able to get like a gig a month. That would be nice. That'd be nice to get a gig a month. So what ended up happening is I remember I got him and then I hit up DJ Burn. And I was like, yo, can I do an orange soda? And I'm expecting him to say like, yeah, let me see the schedule or something like that. And then he hit me back like, yeah, you could do the next one with us. I'm like, damn, okay. I'm not even.
We're not even going to warm up to this.
Yeah, I'm not even going to warm up. And then when I got there, the interesting part is a lot of people have no clue I stopped. They just figure I was still DJing the whole time. But I wasn't. I'm up here like learning on the fly. But the interesting part is that helped my set. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Because like now all of a sudden my set is extremely different than everybody else's set. And my set's always kind of been different because I always try to hit like a lot of different music in them. But I try to hit as many songs as possible. But yeah, pretty much after that, booking starts slowly trickling in. And it's like, oh, like you said, there was already a cachet there. So I would do a gig, and then people would be like, oh, I didn't I didn't know you were that good. And this is not me tooting my own harm. This is what
Hey, that's what they said, man. That's what they said.
and it'd be like, well, I mean, I started DJing in 2004, so I already know,
Mhm.
you know, like at least the basics at this point by now. So when people started doing that, like the booking started to pick up, and then from that point, a lot of it was like, yo, you had it rocking. But it's interesting now because it's different because people. I put it like this: I had DJ Filter, and I remember KY came over and was like looking at me like, "Yo, you sound good."
Like you was surprised.
Yeah, like he was surprised, and then he was telling, obviously this faded, you know what I mean, but it faded. But he was like, "Yo, we want the sound of Filter to be like how Step One was doing
Mm-hmm.
the sound," and then that faded because obviously I'm not at Filter no more. But shout out to KY,
Right.
but you know what I mean. That's good. They was rotating
Mhm.
DJs in and out. But yeah, just the way I think people. I'm sorry if I'm rambling, but it's a
Nah,
lot of thoughts.
Oh no, this is
Yeah.
we here for it.
Yeah, that's what we do.
I think that, and this is something I wish I would have known. It's two things. One, the best advice I heard, and it's so simple, came from Cypher Sounds,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "Everything I got, I just asked," and he was just like, what he meant by that, he was like, he used to DJ. Those that don't know, the Tunnel is like a legendary nightclub in New York. It's gone now,
Mm-hmm.
but that was like New York's first big major mainstream hip hop party, and he he was a DJ at the time, and then he was like, "Yo, can I DJ at the Tunnel?" And that was it. He just asked,
Mm-hmm.
and they was like, "All right, yeah, you could do." And this showed you how much it was rocking. You can do the 8 to 9 set.
Dang, that thing started early.
This thing started early, and then as he was doing good, they kept moving him up to the point where he was just opening up for flex.
Mm-hmm.
So, ask. The second thing is, and rest in peace to Patrice O'Neal. And I don't think I realized this. I don't think, and it's funny because this is technically happening to me with a career resurgence. Is he talked about comedians and like y'all know who Patrice O'Neal
Yeah.
is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When he talked about comedians, he was like, you either get success as a comedian 5 years after you start or 20 years after you start. And it's like, damn, for real? But he was like, yeah. He was like, the way he said it, he was like, you know, it's people that get it 5 years. Like, I can't think of it as like somebody, I can't think of an example, but it's comedians that you see that haven't been out on the scene that long, but then next thing you know, they got a sitcom and stuff like that, and then they fade away. And then you get somebody like him, even though he passed away, or a Bill Burr, who been doing it since like the 90s.
Yeah.
But when they finally blow, people's like, yo, you're like extremely great. And it's because they've been in so many
Yep.
different situations. They've learned, they've had so much experience. It just took other people to catch up to all the experience and the genius they have.
Yep. And then you got all the people who've been there with them from the very beginning. They got that following now. Like they're not going
Yeah.
anywhere now. They just proud to see them get their due.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just one of those things where, like, I think for me, it was just like I've had the most success now, like, than I've ever had in my DJ career ever. Like, I did mixes on 93.1 now. You know what I mean? Winning the award. Um,
He came back and then the millions and millions.
like, and it's just interesting because it came. I mean, obviously, I'm more mature,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Everything happens on God's timing, but it's just interesting just because like I used to drop like mixtapes and stuff like that and be going around hustling them around to the stores and everything else and sending them to different websites, and it's just funny how the game has changed. And then like to come back and then to see like the cachet that's new cachet I'm building up is like it's like humbling.
Yeah.
It's a crazy process.
Yeah.
That's a crazy journey. I mean, we said take it back, and you took us back the whole way, kind of somewhat. And the one word that sticks out to me after just sitting here and listening to you talk is just consistency. Even though you had that break, but still, it's like you said you had quit, and you said you had, but then you was like, yeah, I pulled out the turntable. It's like, okay, you clearly had them in the house somewhere. You ain't quit. If you had quit, you'd have thrown them on the curb.
And he quit, but the
Yeah.
memory of him kept going. So.
Like, yeah, that's a good. Yeah, because people was like, I be telling people like, yo, you know, I didn't DJ for like 8 years, and they was like, what? I thought you was
man.
gigging.
Hey, thank you, me. Like for
Yeah, like no.
all my past accolades, they everything just right. All the stuff that you were saying, like I should have been doing this, and I should have been all that stuff, all that hard work. It just caught up now. It's
Yeah.
all caught up.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, it all caught up.
You was just running ahead of all of this stuff. So, so now, okay, so like we got the DJ journey, man. You know, again, congratulations to the award you just won. You
Yes,
deserve
sir.
it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
you dabble in a whole lot of other things too, and you mentioned it too, um video and everything, and I remember you had like Super Kids Media, you know. So what interested you in the videography side, and you did skits. What interested you, and how'd you get into that?
So another great question, Justin. What got me into it was that was my major at Akron. I was
Yeah.
a media production major. So my goal ultimately was to be a filmmaker. So I thought I was like going to school to be like a filmmaker. So I used to be in like ZTV and WZIP and doing all this extracurricular stuff. And so that's what initially got me interested. And then my fantasy was always been to be as independent as possible. Because then when you're independent, you can do your own thing. You don't have to worry about any people coming in and basically saying, don't do this, don't do that. So we always kind of had a camera around. Well, basically what happened is when the cameras got cheaper, instantly went and bought one. And then we would be telling jokes and stuff like that. You know, you would have different people at the house. People would be laughing. And my best friend, Larry, like, it was
Larry,
extremely funny.
You know, Larry.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Man, that's a funny dude.
Extremely funny. So we'd be making each other laugh. And then we just decided out of nowhere to, like, shoot that sketch that it was what you will never find. You will never find.
Do you still have it though?
No.
You don't
'Cause
even have it.
Trust me, it is so problematic that if that sketch ever came out,
All them sketches that happened around that time, you would not be able to get those off in 2023.
yeah, they were problematic. Like you will not find. So you might be able to find some other ones, but you will not find that first one. Trust me. Like I deleted that one off the face of the earth. Like, and it's crazy because I remember people, but that's how comedy was. I remember people coming up to me like, "That was funny," blah 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 blah. But I remember one dude, and shout out to him, DJ Mr. King was like, "Yo, that's not actually you taking it. You took it too far with that sketch." And looking back now, he was absolutely right. But yeah, we used to shoot, and then just from that, like taking that, doing music videos and stuff like that. So just the thing I regret about that was, I wish when I was doing the music videos, I didn't put my real name. I wish I would have put directed by DJ Step One, and just kept that whole brand because it was all hip hop.
You was putting your real name on them?
Yeah, I was putting my real name on them.
I was laughing because we had a class together, and it was buyer behavior. We had that class together. I think he was like almost about to graduate and everything like that. And we were like in a group working on a project, and I just kept on calling you Steven. I kept calling you Steven all the time. And I don't know, I guess eventually you got fed up. You was like, "Nigga, my name is Stephen." And he just walked away. I'm like, "My bad."
That's funny. I barely. The crazy part is, cause you majored in business, right?
Yeah, marketing. Yeah.
Yeah. I those last few years, I was like damn near. That's a blessing I graduated, cause I was like fully engulfed in DJing at that point. Like I'm pretty sure you probably noticed. Like this nigga don't ever be in class.
Man, he'd show up on test day, and then when that project had to be like the presentation, and he was there.
Yeah,
But other than that, you would not know he was part of that class.
yeah. Like, and my minor was marketing, but I was more present with my communications classes, but not so much the marketing minor.
It's all good though. It was fun though.
Tell us a little bit about your change into the tech world. You know, let's talk a little bit about your company as well, Montre.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's get there. I know you're
Yeah, we
tech savvy.
Current day now.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna take it back 1 second, but we gonna jump to the future.
Okay.
So me and my homie, shout out to Cam, shout out to Ike. Me and Cam always kind of been ahead of the curve with some of the tech stuff. So like we had a podcast, even though it was called an internet radio show, back in like 2004. And then we used to be shooting. Those was actually the first sketches. I wish I could find them. We used to do this thing called Thug Man News, where this dude Gerard would act like a thug, and then he would tell all the news for the weekend hip hop and stuff like that. And we used to upload it to our thing. With that being said, we always been ahead of the curve. So I remember when Instagram first came out, we was like, "Yo, what's the next thing?" And we was like, we both said video. Next thing, Vine come out, and it's like, damn, why didn't we try to make a Vine or something?
That's how it always happens.
Yeah. So, as we could see the future, especially shout out to Apple Vision Pro that's coming out in January. He's like, the next step is augmented reality. So, instead of just talking about if we see that's the next step, how can we at least attempt to position ourselves to be able to take advantage of that? And that's how Montre was born. Because he already had an app where he was like, yo, you can draw in augmented reality. And then I was like, yo, that would be dope if you could add media to it. So I was like, yo, we can add pictures and we can have, video and all this other stuff. Or if the artwork can stay, anybody that has this hardware will be able to see without having to look through their phone. But in order to get to that position, you got to look through your phone first because the hardware wasn't readily available. Right. But we just knew, like, this was the next step. So how can we put ourselves in position to get to that next step?
Okay. That's all you got to say about that.
Yeah, well, and then
he dropped the mic on that. He said,
that's it. Well, Montre, for those that don't know, Montre is the world's first, at the time, it was the world's first like media sharing augmented reality app. What that means is that you can upload media to it. Anybody within a 150 square foot radius can see the media. You don't have to follow each other, anything. So if Savage Royale decided he wanted to leave a voice note for everybody in a certain area, telling them to check out his StreamSpace, and he was at the Van Aken district, he could. And then I could pull up my app, I'll be able to listen to it.
If you were in that area.
If Justin decided to go to Tower City and he wanted to drop the artwork for his mixtape along with a link, we could go look through the app. I can click that, and I would easily be able to see his artwork, be able to listen to his mixtape. I don't have to follow him or anything. So it's almost like Billboard meets creativity meets media sharing.
That's dope.
Now, this is like location based?
Definitely,
Or does
yes.
Justin have to be in Tower City to upload that?
Yeah, it's all location based. So Jason,
But he can't do that.
Yeah,
he has to be
in Tower City. And the reason for that is because you don't want people just posting it like, yo, go here. Because the thing is, like, it helps with the interaction of it.
Right.
If you're there. And it only lasts 24 hours.
Okay.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
That's fire. But I'm about to get hip and leave some StreamSpace notes for people.
Definitely should leave some StreamSpace notes.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta wait. I gotta wait till the Android app come out.
Yeah. We coming out with it soon. It should be dropping relatively soon. Within the next couple of months.
Okay.
Shout out Apple though.
Yep. Whatever. I know why stuff comes out on Apple first. It's one platform. I get it.
Where do you see? I mean, obviously, augmented reality is around the corner.
It's here. It's just
Yeah.
it hasn't infiltrated the masses yet, but it's here.
Do you have a Pro or Oculus?
We don't have a pocket Oculus because we are mainly the reason why we don't have an Oculus is mostly for virtual.
Right.
But the Pro it hasn't dropped yet, but we applied to try to get the Pro early so we can start developing on that because the Pro is the augmented reality glasses, and Apple is usually the leader, even if they're not the best. They're usually the leader in like whatever hardware. So there was watches out before, but then the Apple Watch came out and revolutionized the smartwatch, or even even say it popularized the smartwatch.
They do a good thing of making things simple and easy to use.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it started. First thing I think of was like the iPod. Like,
Oh yeah.
there was other MP3 players out
Oh,
before,
all over the place. Yeah.
Zone and everything else.
But they made it so streamlined on how to get your music uploaded, navigate through it, and everything like that. It was just easy, right?
Shout out to the iPod,
you
bro.
got glasses coming out and everything now too. But remember, Google had made the Google Glass.
Google Glass,
Google Glass, and I mean the concept was hard, but Google create stuff and throw it out all the time.
Yeah, it was like 5
Facebook
months.
had them Ray-Bans.
Yeah,
In the little collaboration with them.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
kind of cool. You ever heard of InReal?
no,
I'm gonna get you hit with InReal. They've it was called something. It's called XReal. It's called something else, but the company now has switched to InReal. Just glasses that you put on and basically projects right in front of you a screen. It could be the game, Netflix, whatever. So yeah, those products are definitely popping up. You know,
definitely.
the more the merrier for the products. I sometimes I wish I was more so in that space. Just really be able to just like hands on, just kind of like create something in a way. Like I don't have that type of knowledge. The idea, and then definitely more software based. But like, yeah, we need more like product prototypes.
Yeah,
It's coming. We almost just have to think it up ourselves though, because it's literally the future though. It's just like, okay, then what does that look like? It's not like we have a lot of blueprint to look at. We barely just now getting the Oculus and these type of things. So it'd be interesting to see where we go from here. Honestly,
no facts because like I don't know what I can't think that far ahead after the glasses. They're gonna be like, yo, you got a malignant arm or something like that.
there is.
It's gonna be something crazy.
There's
we not gonna want to. We not gonna want to do it.
It's gonna be like Doctor. People gonna be walking around like Doctor Octopus.
I've seen something that's not that bad though. There's this company actually. There's a guy who was working with Apple, left Apple, and has started a company called Humane, which is, I guess, at the base level, trying to get people more involved with their world around them and not getting caught up in your phone. Right. So there's this piece now that they've started to create that you can kind of put on your lapel, but it's also have like AI and things involved with it, but will project things in front of you. So if you want to make a call, you could just right in front of like your space of like your chest, and will be able to project certain things, but also, or not augmented reality, but like AI of like remembering contacts or giving you suggestions, directions, being able to project directions like an arrow, like turn left,
But you're not holding a device in your hand.
Nah, but this is a man that I've just the main guy just left Apple not too long ago.
That's
so
dope.
There are some companies that's on the low that's like really shifting stuff that, we were just talking about this in music, like the younger generation is like really starting to shift hip hop where some people are like, oh, hip hop is dying and hip hop is dead. It's like, I think it's in a shift right now, and it hasn't fully made it out of the shift of the generation. Like the young kids, they're making music, they're making new things. There's new things coming, there's new beat. I'm hearing beats that's just like, yo, what is this? And it's just like a young kid. It's just, they just trying things, so it's just a lot of things that's shifting right now. Like the next 5 years,
Okay.
I just feel like we'll start to really see the full form of it. Even the glasses and the Oculus, like it's not a 360 right now. Like those glasses are only like 90.
They like a niche right now.
Yeah. But it's not even the fullest. Like a lot of this stuff, the whole world gonna be augmented at one point, and things gonna be displayed and digitized and this and that. Like we only at like a 90 or a 180 of what it's really gonna look like. Probably like by the time your son is like our age, which ain't that far away.
Yeah. No, that's true.
But technology is moving extremely fast. Like you were saying before we were talking, you said the difference between the Nintendo 64 and another gaming system was massive. Now, you
It's,
know, things are like changing, but I think it just changed way faster.
yeah, the difference between the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 is not as big as the difference between the Nintendo or the Super Nintendo and the original Nintendo NES.
Yep.
How much changed for you for your PlayStation 5 from the 4?
From the four, it's really not that it's not that big of a difference for real. I mean, like graphics are better for games that are made specifically for the PS5, right?
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's not that big of a difference. And I think
Yeah.
it's also because I've just been playing PlayStation for so long, you just used to how everything works and the layout and how they move. I would say it was a bigger difference when it went from the three to the four.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Definitely.
and the reason for that being, I actually think PlayStation shot themselves, Sony shot themselves in the foot when they came out the way that they did come out with it, and then Xbox that came out and their online was just better.
Yeah.
Their online was better. I see what PlayStation was trying to do with it, where they made it just totally free. They made it totally free to get online. They actually had they had their own universe inside there, and everything was called like PlayStation Home and everything like that, which is crazy. They were ahead of their time, but it was just so glitchy. Everything was glitchy. Um, it was just unstable and everything. When they went to the four, they fixed all those kinks, streamlined everything, and cleaned it up.
Yeah.
But by that time, Xbox was rolling.
Yeah.
Xbox was rolling.
Okay.
So
Should we hop into top 3?
wait, before we hop in the top three, because he got one more thing that he works on too
Mm-hmm.
in Soundbender Institute.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
so tell us a little bit about Soundbender Institute. How did that start, and and where is it going now?
All right, Soundbender Institute is Cleveland, I know, or Ohio's premier DJ school. It's founded by me and DJ K Nice. Basically, it was a way to kind of Cleveland has always had great technical DJs, and I think that has bars kind of dropped, and it's a way to kind of bring it back up to make sure like everybody is sharp technical that come here, and everybody is learning how to DJ the right way. The thing about DJing is, to be honest with you, a lot of people will want to do it, but they don't know how to learn. They don't. There's nobody to teach them until now. Now there is somebody to teach you how to DJ properly, or at least get you on the right track. And when I started, there was no YouTube, so trying to find out on a book was hard. Like you had to have somebody show you. Um, and then even with that, for the most part, other than like Cam showing me a couple things, I pretty much had to teach myself. Um, but if you look at it now, like people go to YouTube, and some of that stuff is still hard to apply. Like DJing is not easy to learn. Like DJing properly is not easy to learn. Sometimes you gotta wait for your ear to split, meaning that being able to listen to two songs at once where it don't sound jumbled. Um, all these different things, but we teach you the technique. So it was just needed in the area, especially with people wanting to learn how to DJ and no one being here to teach you. And then some of the people that would teach you is just gatekeep the information. So like we want to spread it, because if we teach it, somebody go to the next level, and then levels will keep getting brought up, and everybody will be better, and Cleveland will be where it's deserved to be.
Yep, it passed it forward because like you said, the DJ scene is on Cleveland. Like it's a lot of really good DJs out here. I mean, we've had like a lot of the best DJs in Cleveland. We had them on our show and everything like that.
Yeah.
But they can't. It's hard for you. Everybody can't walk up to Step One's door and try to to his house and try to come in there and try to learn how to DJ. But when you come up to a central location where you got instructors and
Yep.
things scheduled and everything, I can see how that makes it easier to get people who really want to DJ how to learn the technical part of it the right way, like you said.
Exactly, learn the technical part, and it's a hub for DJs. So it's something I would say all DJs probably need to check in one time, come in, check the spot,
Yeah.
get a couple jam sessions going, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Shout out Soundbender.
Yes, That's what's up, man. Shout out to Soundbender Institute. So yeah, go ahead. We're gonna jump over to
Top three.
top three.
Top three is a segment where we just gonna throw random top three options at you, and you're gonna have to answer what your top three options are.
Okay.
So we gonna start. Let's see.
Quick time with slime.
Yeah, pretty much. Very random too. You eat wings?
Yes.
Top top three wing flavors.
What was you gonna say if he said no?
Get out my house.
Yeah, like what are we doing here?
Top 3 wing flavors. It's
Mhm.
funny because this is how my mind thinks: Goldfinger,
Wow.
garlic parmesan,
Mm.
mild.
Okay, mild. Yeah.
Okay. So is Goldfinger like a honey?
It's like a honey barbecue / mustard. They got them at this
Like a-
spot called Roosters in Canton.
Okay.
Like a honey gold type of.
Yeah.
See, I would say like one of my favorites is Honey Gold, man, from
Mhm.
Europe Gyro, man.
Yeah.
Oh, he brought it back.
Hey
too.
man, hey, my freshman year in college, we got hip to that Honey Gold, and we walked there every single day for 5 days straight. I need some more of that Honey Gold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out that Euro Gyro. I was messing that Euro Gyro up.
Oh my gosh.
Some honey golds and a pepperoni pizza.
This dude
Yeah.
had like towers of boxes of pizza
So,
in
yeah.
his room.
Whenever I go back to Akron, one of the places, if I go back during the day, I go to Diamond Deli, which is a great best sandwich spot in Ohio. But if it's night and I want that nostalgia trip, I'll go to Euro Gyro and get like whatever, get some wings, get that pizza and stuff
Greasy
like that.
pizza. The only thing I used to hate is like on the late side, because they wouldn't change that grease out like they should, and you
Yeah.
start tasting everything that they cooked up in there.
Yeah. Why my fries taste like shrimp?
What you got, Jay?
All right, let me see. Okay, look, cause I know you like into like investing and everything too. So, what are like your top 3 stocks right now that you think somebody? I mean,
That's
hey,
a good
look,
one.
this is not like real,
It's not
Financial
it's
financial
not
advice.
financial advice. This is just
Advice.
his opinion. So your top 3 stocks.
My top 3 stocks, just keep it safe. Well, I'll give you 2 safe ones, and I'll give you 1 safe one and 2 2 risky ones at this point now. Safe one, Amazon. Mild risk is Stone, STNE. That's the ticker symbol. That is a financial institution one, like a fintech company that got beat up. But I know Warren Buffett is invested in it, so I think it's only a matter of time. Maybe give it a couple years before you see it back into where it was. So that's something. It's kind of risky. I'm also, and I'm thinking about it. I'm already invested in Square. Square dropped. Square to me is getting to a good price point, and I can see myself buying more Square at this price point. The only problem is Square all of a sudden is going through all this different stuff, so I want to read up on it more. But those was the main 3.
You want the card reader Square?
Yeah, card reader Square, but Square is part of Cash App too. It's called Block. So that, and then if you want another one, if you want another risky one, DraftKings.
Something is going on. Something is going on out here, bro. That's the 3rd time I heard that outside today within the last probably 4 hours.
They're doing drills.
Okay.
Yeah, so
well, thank you.
Yeah, they're doing drills.
I knew something was going on because I ain't.
Yeah, shout out to the city of Euclid who hipped us on what was going on, because they're like, you're gonna see a lot of helicopters and planes flying real low around. They're doing drills.
Oh wow.
Been like that for like the last few days.
Hopefully they not like planning some shit or something like that.
Yeah, you better be ready. So
Yeah.
you don't have to get ready.
Yeah, put your mask back on too because
COVID is coming back.
it's something coming around.
Man, get out of here.
It's like
man.
Michael
People
Myers.
been coming up sick, bro. Like just jacked up.
It's for fall, bro. Everybody's about to get sick.
I
and
guess
it's
it's true.
gonna blame it on
That's
COVID.
true. That's true.
That's what conspiracy theories, and we can talk about that offline.
All right, let's see. Top 3. Let's see. Top 3 Cleveland. Mine is always food related.
That's cool.
Top 3 Cleveland restaurants.
Okay, that's a good question. Now, I'm not gonna do I might do one sit down one, but if I was bringing somebody here, I would tell them they got to get a taco from a plaza.
Okay.
I would tell them to get some wings and a Polish boy from Kim's.
Kim's.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. Ski.
If they answer the phone.
Well, because I was gonna say open pit, but that's the
If they
same
answer the
problem.
phone.
So you just gotta pick one.
Yeah.
If you want the safest option, is B&M. They will answer the phone.
Yeah, yeah.
They're gonna
Is
be
it-
there.
Yeah, it's just Kim's and open pit's top,
There they are.
and then I would probably tell you I like this sit down restaurant. It's farm to table called the Farmer's Rail. It's in Hudson now.
What's it called?
Farmer's Rail. It's
Farmer's
like
Rail.
you can go to the shelf, pick out the slab of steak you want, everything. They'll cook it up, and it's real. Like everything is like from farm to table.
Man, what?
Do they have another chain called the Rail?
Well, I know what you're thinking of.
Okay.
That's like the burger place.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, they got another one.
That's
in
different though.
It's different though.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
man.
like this is like one.
I'll be going there soon.
Right, you just got Justin Hip.
Oh man, I love
Yeah.
a good steak.
Yes, sir.
Oh, if you love a steak, definitely go there.
Okay.
You could get to pick it up to like you go back to the thing and like you it's basically like $25 for your sides, and then you'll be like, okay, what steak you want? And they'll take you can go look, waitress will point it out, you'll be like, yo, I want that steak, they'll weigh it, and then you pay the extra cost. So if the steak costs like, $17, add
Yeah,
that
like
to
the
you.
market value.
Yeah, the market value of it.
Shoot, they doing everything shy of letting you slaughter the cow.
Exactly. And then when you go in there, you can see like a whole bunch of like cow ribs and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I'm going up in there.
Hudson.
Hudson.
We on our way.
Yeah, we on our way. We'll be there soon.
Yeah.
We'll be there real soon.
All right, let me see. We're gonna keep it Cleveland still. Okay, look. Top 3 Cleveland songs by local artists.
Oh,
That's a good one.
That's a real good one. Okay. Does Bone count?
Bone, yeah, definitely they count.
All right, so I'm gonna make it hard on myself. I'm just gonna pick one Bone song.
I was gonna say you can only pick one because
Yeah.
you could do all 3 Bone, but we ain't gonna let you do that.
All right. So East 99.
Okay.
Then I would say Chip the Ripper. I Run My City. Yeah. I say I say I Run My City, but Chip could have like the Chip could be another one that got all 3.
Yeah, he could.
And then I would say probably the third one would be I would go Corey Babe's Throat.
Okay. Yeah, that's those are those like that Corey Babe's throw, like that's gonna go. That's like back that ass up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In Cleveland, like you can play that all the time. It's always gonna go. I'll probably still say too, like another Chip song. I'll probably like Get It Girl.
Yeah.
Because that's always
Get
gonna
it,
go.
girl.
Get It Girl. But my favorite, I actually like Chip more when he became like kind of got into that blogger hipster type rap.
Yeah, me too.
So
yeah. Like all those mixtapes around that time, man. Like
the Cleveland show rap for gift raps and stuff like that.
yeah.
Those was,
Oh man, those were banging. Yeah, I think that was probably my favorite Chip era right there. But I love to come up and everything like that when like when it was royalty camp and all.
Yeah.
That, man. And I'm like Chip rapping circles around all these people, man.
Chip is probably the best Cleveland artist of all time. But Kid Cudi too.
Yeah.
And then I could have said Kid Cudi, Day and Night, or Kid Cudi.
I had a feeling you might
Higher.
have said Day and Night for number 3, maybe.
Well, actually, you know what? If I'm being honest, number 3, because I thought about it, it would not be Corey Babe's Throat. It would be Kid Cudi, Sky Might Fall.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That's a great song.
Shout out Cudi.
Sky My Fall is awesome.
Man, them some good ones. Some good ones for sure. We still rolling? You want another one?
I'll take another one.
All right.
Let's see here, man. Top 3 cameras.
Of all time?
Yeah.
Good question. The Canon 5D. I think it was 5D. I can't remember. Then I would say the Sony A7 III.
That's a new John.
And then honestly, if we're being honest, even though I never used it, the first Red camera.
The red camera, what's that?
It was a Red cinema camera.
Okay.
And people start shooting like movies and stuff with it. And I just remember seeing it. I thought that shit was so amazing.
You never had one?
Never had. It was cost too much. It cost like $10,000.
Oh. Yeah, you shooting some movies off that.
Yeah. You shoot movies, but one of my favorite directors, music video directors, Rick Cordero.
Mm-hmm.
He started using it, and then you just start seeing people like shooting like small films and stuff with it, and you was getting these real, like from 2010 to about 2000, like that whole decade, you got these great like independent movies,
Mm-hmm.
like, and you still getting a couple good independent movies, but
Mhm.
that was like a great independent movie era.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, I would say from 2000 to 2020 was like a great independent movie era.
Yeah.
But especially then, you just saw people, the barrier for entry was lower. So you can see people get these red cameras and shoot some amazing things with it.
Okay. I'm gonna look into it. Not that I can buy it, but I'm gonna look into the red.
They got different ones now, like the Red Scarlet. And then you can get like a cinema camera, like the Black Magic
Mm-hmm.
camera that shoot like up to 8K for like $2,000.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What you got, Jay?
Oh man, I thought
Hit
it
him.
was gonna be the last one, so I was thinking.
Oh, hit him with one more.
One more. What's your top 3 spots that you ever DJ'd at?
Great question.
That's good.
So this is interesting. Number one, and you might agree with this as a DJ. Number one is my bedroom.
Yeah, because ain't no judgment up in there.
Yeah, like you can be as free as you want and experiment and practice. Does that count or you want me to do like
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Yep. That counts.
number two would probably be I would say like the motor.
Okay. Man, I didn't get a chance to go to the motor. By the time I was old enough, they closed.
And then honestly, probably Metropolis.
Man, the Metrop.
What people don't know about the Metropolis, because people's like, man, the hood Metropolis is hood. Jim, the owner, made his money to buy it through older Jim. Like it was an older dude. He ended up passing away, and his younger son, they got a crazy lifestyle. But Jim basically used to do sound, and he used to do like the sound for like NWA and all that stuff. So he used to tour around. The sound system at the at the Metropolis was amazing. Like, and they always had a sound person. Ray was the sound person. I'm not saying this to be funny. Ray was a cross dresser, and Ray used to be in there in his high heels and jeans, but he had it sounding amazing. So you would have like, yo, and nobody judged Ray. That shit was crazy. Like, talk about
He was good at what he did.
yeah, it was just talk about progressiveness back in the day. Because now you think about it, like nobody even cared. Like, yo, it's Ray. But the sound system, you would have your monitor all on the stage, sounding loud. Sound system was amazing. You couldn't complain about anything. Like they had Metropolis sounded crazy.
Metropolis used to be rocking.
And the crazy part is like, and this is something I was telling my boy. I'm like, at that point now, especially being like when you got to that level, when you start hitting the Metropolis, stuff like that, and it was one of them nights, you would be DJing for like 1,000 people.
Yeah, it used to be packed in there, bro.
Yeah.
Going crazy. And
I ain't
then I
never
remember
I ain't never go there.
they had
Too
it
young.
was because it was big. It was real big. And then they had the what was it? That Velvet Room
Yeah.
that was right next to it. Like it was connected to it. So I remember a few times they had a party going on the Metropolis. They had a party going on the Velvet Room. I remember they had a the what's it the bubble thing it was like the bubble machine thing.
Oh
like,
yeah, the phone parties.
The phone parties in there and everything. And I remember, bro, like they turned that machine up to like 100. I literally almost drowned in foam before, bro, because like I was in there, I was in the thing, and you can't see what's going on in there. So I was in the middle and I couldn't find the edge. So like I'm literally drowning in foam. And I'm like, this is it. And I'm bouncing off of people, so I can't get to the edge, bro. And I just remember, like, somebody just kind of pulled me. Because they must have saw it was over. I would have been talking here to you this day, bro. I would have been a different story.
Hell no. But yeah, definitely. Because you don't have these spots. I think it's like a couple. I think 4 maybe. But you don't have these spots where you'll go and you'll DJ for like 1,000 people anymore.
Nope.
That's what's up. Shout out to old days.
Yeah.
Mm, mm, mm. Cleveland got some spots still
Yeah.
though, man. There's some spots that's kicking out here, man. Some spots that's kicking for sure. Well, we always want to try and wrap it up with what's next, right?
Mhm.
So what's on the horizon for you? What's coming up next?
I mean, just probably just more. Like I got a couple mixes in the tuck that I need to drop. Like I would drop the radio mixes that I did on 93, and I got a lot, so I need to start dropping those. I probably start dropping those like every 2 weeks or every week.
Okay.
Get my SoundCloud up. Obviously, working on Montre, and we accepting students for Soundbender. So if you're interested in DJing, hit us up. Come through, teach you how to DJ.
Mhm.
And then just working on more features for Montre. And then I want to do something. I'm gonna say this first. I don't know. I know what it is. I just gotta kind of do it. I want to do something like event DJ wise
Mhm.
that has like never been done before. Like something like where it's like, yo, this is super innovative. Like I don't think anybody's ever done anything like this.
Not a battle.
Not a battle,
Mm-hmm.
but like something because a battle's been done before.
Mhm.
Like something where something different, something where when you come, you're gonna be like, that I've never seen that before. So, and I got an idea. I just want to flesh it out.
Okay. Yeah, man.
I make sure if I do it, make sure I invite y'all to
Oh,
Yeah,
for
she'll
sure.
be there for sure.
Yes, Sirski.
Yeah.
You already know.
something completely different.
That's what
Look forward to it.
yeah. We need more things from that realm. You know, things trying to push the boundaries, especially in Cleveland. I mean anywhere, but we talk Cleveland because we live here. So especially for our city, some stuff that just pushes the limits. I'm here for it.
Push the limits to like an extreme level.
Yeah,
Extreme-
I
he
want
said
other. I
extreme
want
level.
other cities to be like, man, what they doing up there? Like, you
Right.
know, like I've never seen that before. Like, of course, you're gonna have like L.A., Atlanta, New York, and those are the premier places. I wanted to be like, hey, man, they did something different up there in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I got something similar because I've never seen anybody do anything like
Man,
this.
he about to do some Project X type shit.
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
Was you there? When did you get there? No, you wasn't there. Or maybe you was.
But-
When we did the house party at my dude Rick's house, it was on, I forgot what street it was.
Justin got to think back
I'm
past a
trying.
lot of house parties.
It's been a lot of house parties.
We did a house party. To me, this house party was legendary
Mhm.
because we like built a stage and we had the What It Do contest. And we was one of the first people to put a event on Facebook.
Man, I wasn't there, man. Now I wish I was.
Yeah, that was because real quick. This is my last story.
It's all good.
We threw that party the same night, and he doesn't know this. Is just funny. Same night that like Latif,
Mm-hmm.
who was Schoolhouse promoter, did Franchise Boys,
Mm-hmm.
and the Franchise Boys flopped, and everybody was at that house party. I remember I looked out the street, and there was a line going all the way down, and I was like, "Yo, this shit crazy." You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Packed out. Years later, I remember I'm DJing for Latif now. And I just remember him saying he didn't know it was me. This is the crazy part. He was like, "Yeah, got you for this college event. As long as nobody don't do no house party like that Franchise Boys shit." Like, you don't
My
know
bad.
who.
My bad,
Yeah,
dog.
yeah. Like he didn't know it was me. I didn't say nothing either. But like, yeah.
You still never said anything?
Nah, I
If
just
he
was
watch
like,
this
yeah.
podcast, he gonna find out.
Yeah, he watched the podcast. He's like, "You was the nigga that fucked it."
Hey, but like that remind me like the battling other like promoters and like with our friend like, hey, like that such and such they having a party night. Hey man, forget that man. We throwing a party too.
Yeah.
And we just gonna battle it out with them.
Mm-hmm.
I almost started a fight between the IOTAs and Alphas.
Oh man.
Man, dude,
This is my dumb ass.
those fights, man. Like that was that one the one outside of the Alpha House?
No, this was
Oh no, that was the Alphas and the Kappas that night.
no. I'm talking about. I tell this story. This is my real last story. So, the Alphas was throwing they like whatever. It might have been a bicentennial now because they was like dressed up and shit. It's supposed to be like a ball, right? And I made the Facebook event for the IOTAs for them to have a house party. And I was like, why go to some dumbass alpha party when you can go to this IOTA house party that's going to be rocking?
Man, this nigga trying to set it up.
Reckless. Man, my dude hit me up like, hey, man, we almost got into a fight with some alphas. Did you write this shit on Facebook? I'm like, yeah. I was like, man,
And he was the catalyst of the whole thing.
He was like, yo, just don't. You can't do that shit. Because, like, well, I'm like, my bad. And the alpha ended up confronting two of my friends. He actually came up to two of my friends, like, which one of y'all is two-step? And it's like, nigga, you know neither one of us is step one.
I'm starting to see a pattern of step like start some shit and then going back into the shadows.
But I didn't know. When I wrote that was just being stupid.
Yeah.
But to me, I wasn't trying to start a fight.
Exactly,
I was
right.
up here like, sure, I wanted to DJ in front of people.
Yeah, right.
You know what I
I
mean?
want my stuff to go.
Yeah, so I go to some dumbass alpha dress up and they shit flopped. So it was even worse.
Terrible.
Like,
They was real mad. Too.
yeah, it was real mad. They got me back though without knowing it because we was the first people. I never forget. Like, yo, we was the first people to do the first day of school party.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody was doing the first days. I remember everybody was looking at us like, yo, y'all niggas stupid. And I'm like, yo, you don't realize when these freshmen come in, all they've been thinking about their whole time, they last 2 years, is these college parties. Why wait till the weekend when you can throw it on the first day of school?
Man, Akron, man, like that people don't understand how the party scene was in Akron. It was something legendary. Like that first day party, that first weekend.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, when we did
There's a lot
that
of parties.
yeah, when we
I
did
didn't
that
even go
first
here.
day of school party, we made a decent amount of money to be like in college. And it was like after that, it just trickled down because throw another first day of school party, but then there's another one going. And then the last time we tried to do it, the Alphas did a house party that night. And I was like, that shit, our shit flopped. They shit was rocking. And they had the house right on campus. So I'm like, y'all niggas was not doing first day of school parties before us.
We got them before too. I can't tell the whole story on this line and everything like that, but we had got them too on a party battle and everything like that. Smashed them. I'll tell the story afterwards.
He just smashed him.
That's funny. I used to DJ for y'all a lot.
Yeah.
Shout out to Trey D.
Hey, bro, like our parties, man, the house parties too.
Man.
That Sigma house, man. My 560 Nash, man. Shout out to 560
60
Nash.
Nash.
Man, with the red door.
The toga party.
With the red door, the toga
The
parties.
toga party that
Yeah.
we did with the AKAs.
Yeah, the toga party. I never forget because that's when that was the first time. I don't understand. No, I'll just tell the story. I don't understand why people try to fight Trey D.
I don't understand either, man, because like
The niggas,
he's huge.
You talking about Trey?
Yeah.
the niggas like 6'4", 260 pounds,
Stayed-
mostly muscle.
Stayed in the gym, bro. That's how I met him. Like before I was a Sigma, like I was in a rec. And he was on the bench, and he was like, "Hey, little nigga, come over here and spot me real quick, bro." This dude had like 345-pound weights on the bench. I'm like, if he can't lift this up, he's gonna die. But
Yeah.
I stood over there, bro. He got him up, and I was happy, bro. And then I was a bruh.
And I
Yeah.
was bruh.
Dog, like it was some nigga fought Trey D, got his ass whooped, then talked to Trey. I was DJing, talked to the nigga in the like room where I was DJing at, like, yeah, you whooped my ass pretty good, man. But I couldn't just, I had my gun on me, but I just respect you so much. I wasn't gonna shoot you, but I couldn't just let you talk to me like that.
I
So
respect that though, man. I respect that some bad shit. Like, hey, man, we just gonna fight, bro. I'm gonna lose, but
yeah,
we gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? Well, shout out to my bro Trey D, man.
it's like,
Some crazy stories.
Yeah, right.
I miss
Yeah,
them
so-
Akron days.
Man, hey, we could be here talking all night long, man. So we gonna let y'all go to bed. But hey, it's been dope, man. Appreciate you coming out,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
my guy.
thanks for having me.
Man, thanks for coming on for sure, man. It was a fire conversation for sure. And once again, congratulations on everything, man. The journey ain't over, but this is a stop along the way that should be remembered for sure.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate it for real.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Where can the people find you?
At DJ Step One on Instagram, at DJ Step One on Facebook, and then just catch me out DJing. Like all my gigs will be on my page.
He will be out and about.
Definitely.
Where can they find you at, Justin?
Well, they can find me on Instagram, the DJ Just Will.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much all you really can find me at. You can find me on Twitter, the DJ Just Will too. But I mean, hey, you probably won't see much. But you can find us at StreamSpace Official on Instagram and follow us right here. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button right here on YouTube, and follow us on Twitch as well too.
Shout out Twitch, all the people out there. Other than that, we out here, baby.
Peace.